Hello and welcome. One of the things I pretty much say in every single video is everything you do is your own risk and your own reward. And oftentimes even that risk reward management is job number one. This video is one of that about gambling. So risk reward management, it's your own choice of what you end up doing. I'm going to be going over just the concepts of gambling, talk about a giveaway that I'm going to be giving away, a Superbowl giveaway this weekend where you can win up to $5,000 US, and I hope I can give that away. And also look at the fantasy football and football itself. I want to talk about gambling this weekend because Super Bowl is coming up and a lot of bets are going to be made, so I want to talk about gambling on the Super Bowl. And one way you could be gambling is that of trading the markets. Bitcoin at this time is 38,000 and change. Down here it was 32,000 and change, so it's went up like 20%. You could have put 10 grand in, you'd have 12 grand. And you win. And then you could have like bought here at like 37,000 and then make, oh shit, oh man, it's going down, and then you sell at 32,000 and your 10 grand turns into 75, and then you're now those 4-letter words you're using might be even more vulgar or louder in speech. There are codes you can buy on Bittrex, and you can buy these on stock exchanges as well too. Interesting, the gambling on that of Robinhood, which has made it so, you can't buy, or you can only buy one share of this. Either way, understand the rules of the gambling, what you can do. And sometimes the rules can change, I guess, suppose, anyway. GameStop used to be 400, now it's 93, but it also used to be much cheaper than that. When the year started, it was like $18. So they bought it up to like 400. Now it's down to 92. Yada yada yada. A lot of people have been winning and losing some interesting amount of fiat currency notes within such. And a lot of people that have been losing have been those whom have been short selling it. What I love is how more and more people this week are learning what short selling means, how it works, and I found it interesting because earlier today I watched a video on Pat, the NSC, the super, like a Nintendo punk, and he was doing a completely unnecessary podcast, as he calls it, with Ian Thomas or Thompson. I think it's Thomas. And they talked 25 minutes explaining it using video game examples to go over how short selling works. I'm just loving the fact that people are staying. But when you short sell, it's a gamble to do so. You can win and you lose. But gambling is when you take risks of capital of some sort, of an event in uncertainty. And that's basically something that does not have a 0 or 100% likelihood of occurring. And almost everything in life seems to be amongst those probabilities. I got a silver chart up, and I buy silver. That's my number one asset class by far over everything. But my silver dominance is by not over 50% because I believe in diversification, but it is much larger than the second one that it's higher than. I just own many different cryptocurrencies and different other asset classes as well. And one asset I think is not going to do well is that of fiat currency. And if I'm right, then, and silver does well, then my portfolio will do better. And those whom hold fiat currencies and do not get their gold, silver, or deny in such gold, silver, and cryptocurrency investments are gambling that the fiat currency system will not fall. But you know what? That's their gamble to do such. Now I'm going to transition into the contest and fantasy football betting itself. And as far as the contest is concerned, this weekend I'm going to, what's today, Wednesday? Friday, I'm probably going to put it up. Friday night, maybe? Yeah, Friday night would be a good time to do it. I'll put up a video Friday nights, and that's where you will put your comments in. It'll be like Price is Right. You'll have to pick two things. One, who you think is going to win the game? Either the Kansas City Chiefs or Tampa Bay. No spread, will just be the winner of the game. And the Price is Right will be, how much am I betting within DraftKings? I've got one lineup made. I'm going to go over this lineup and talk about how I'm going to play it. But I'm going to play multiple different lineups. So whoever's the closest to how much I bet, and I like to do things reverse oftentimes, so I'm going to do it here, without going under, not without going over, will be the winner. So when the Price is Right, bids are like $1,400, I bid $1,200, and you want to go a little under it because you can't go over here. Think about going higher on that kind of deal. So instead of betting $1 to go, like, if you think everybody overbid, if you think everybody underbids, you could bid like 50 grand or something. There's no way I'm betting that. But some clues. I got 384 entries. A couple of them are free rolls, but they're all paid entries. A lot of them can be and are 10-cent entries. But there's also 25-cent entries, $1 entries. And on DraftKings, they have a $10 game, and there's some of them on there too. And they're where you can win $1 million for first. Although many people who will play won't have a chance to $1 million. It'll either be a good 5 or 6 figure score based on how many times their lineup will be shared. There's over 500,000 lineups in there. So I'm working hard to think of how I'm going to do my strategy. I'm playing multiple lineups. Other situational clues is as hockey, depending on the games. Today's an interesting day where I'm betting a little bit smaller in hockey, but on a normal day, I'm betting like 150 a game on average, so 200. Normally I like to go about 300 a game. And I haven't been winning as much, but my bankroll overall is healthily up since the start of the hockey season. And I have 13 tickets. Some of those tickets are for the Millionaire Maker. One of the promos is enter a ticket a day and you get win a prize. So, okay, every single day I have to enter a new one. So I have at least one per day going forward. Now, as far as the lineup is concerned, I don't think there's a chance this lineup's going to make it to the very end. There's 3 people that I'm waiting on. It looks like every single one is going to play. What an interesting situation it's going to be if, of course, the final of the 3 guys that I talk about actually plays. As far as costs are concerned, I'm going to go regular price. Patrick Mahomes comes in at $12,000. I mean, these are the guys, he's going to get points pretty much no matter what. Travis Kelce's almost like a magnet to always get points. Tyreek Hill's more of a good captain, but a decent flex. He can miss more often. Just seems like Kelce doesn't miss as often. He's got 1,643 yards. Now, I can't show you the stats offhand of how many points they get, but every single game he's getting, these are yards that he's getting. And fantasy points, he has not had a game below 20 points. He's only had one game, but it's his second worst score since week 8 in fantasy terms. And I can't I can, but it's just difficult to show. This is his worst game here. 8 catches for 82 yards. You get 8 points. You get a point for a catch. That's 8. You get 10% of your yards. That's 16.2. That's his second worst score. Every other score since has been over 20, and the lowest of the 20 numbers, like 22.8 twice, which was both of these weeks here. And last week, 39.8, or last game even, 13 catches of 15 targets, 118 yards and 2 touchdowns. Just a sick, phenomenal athlete. And then you got Tom Brady, Chris Godwin, and Mike Evans. These are all guys that are going to get you big points. And there's trying ways of playing stars and scrubs is the big thing I've been thinking how I want to do my lineup. Now, how much in the contest, how can you win up to 5,000? Well, what I'm going to do, and it's going to be somewhere in the area of about 5% of what I make, up to a maximum of 5,000. That's why I hope I can pay it out, because that means, of course, I would win at least 100 grand. So therefore, that is how it would work. So 2 people going to the Super Bowl will have a chance to win. And of course, depending on who wins, the Kansas City and Tampa Bay will do it. That's how the giveaway is going to go. Now, Antonio Brown is the first guy that I'm looking at. Very cheap cost at $6,200, which is going to make it very easy to execute these things. But he's the first of the three guys that I really like, and each one is more significantly cheaper than the next. I mean, guys like Chad Henne and Blaine Gabbert, backup quarterbacks, are just not even considerable. Hardman, he's not going to be as attractive coming into with the all these extra guys coming in, especially with people doing early lineups. I don't want to tangle with them. Darrell Williams, he's 5,200. But you know what though? I hope I don't want to. I mean, his ownership is going to go way down because of hoping of what's the third guy, but. Cameron Brady, yeah, I put no problem putting him in. He can hit here and there, but not a great average of 5.9. 3 of 5 for 19 yards and a touchdown and 10.9, and that's not that great of a score, really. So 12.1, 12.0, and 10.9 are his three best scores of the game, making him very difficult to trust, and such a high price just to get shit points, basically. Sammy Watkins, though, is the second of three guys that I'm looking at that's got the questionable tag. All three of these guys practicing this week, or today even, albeit limited, which is just great news. Sammy Watkins, $4,200. He's capable of having a decent-sized game, but I'm not as excited about him as I am the other two, as mentioned, which is Antonio Brown and, the next guy. Harrison Butker, Ryan Suckup, the kickers. If you need to put a kicker in, that can work out. Now, Rob Gronkowski, this is going to be something interesting. $3,000 to buy him. Last week, he had one catch for 29 yards. So he hasn't done much, but he did have this one game against Detroit, 2 of 58 and 2 touchdowns. 6 of 7 for 106. So you never know when he's going to have a breakout. Yeah, I know early in the season, late in the season, the big games happen early. It's less likely. And he is a common name, so he's not like he's a sleeper for the most price at the cheap levels. Don't know what I'm going to do about that situation. Playing the defense is just that when you're putting the stars and scrubs, they're just easy fillers for the scrubs price. Then we got Jones. He's got that beautiful 13-point average, but it's going to be tough. Now, Pringle's cheap. If Sammy Watkins doesn't go, he's going to be an interesting situation, even if he does play, but he's okay. And then what do you do with these cheap guys? Who knows this? Who's this Tyler Johnson guy? Tyler Johnson had one reception for 16 yards, one for 15. And so he's playing, so how many people are going to see him? A few. You can put him in, leave like 3,000 off the cap, 2,000 off the cap, even 16. You might be unique. You could have a shot at winning $1 million. Maybe he gets a touchdown in a weird situation. That's what you do with any of those scrub players. But Le'Veon Bell is $800 on this game. He was limited in practice today. At this point, Bell, who set out the AFC Championship, is expected to be available for Sunday's Super Bowl versus the Buccaneers. But what his role is in the contest might be uncertain. With that in mind, Darrell Williams and Clyde Edwards-Helaire are also in Kansas City's backfield mix. A context that would most likely land Bell in a complimentary role this weekend, assuming he suits up. When I'm spending $800, it's an interesting situation. Someone like LaShawn McCoy, when's the last time he's played? Week 16. I think he's been inactive many of these times. And this is where, if you're like really hardcore into this, and I guess I'm more hardcore, in the hockey aspect more than anything, then what I'm looking at is, what was his situation like when he didn't score points? Was he active? Was he not active? Stuff like that. Now, as far as other ways in playing this, there's fantasy, but there's also spreads. There's the money line, there's the total, and then there's just prop after prop after prop after prop. And the prop story is a spectacular story in itself. It was a Super Bowl in the 1980s between the Chicago Bears and the New England Patriots. And Refrigerator Perry, there was so much demand for him to score a touchdown and that they wanted to bet on him to do so. And there never was props before, so they put up a wager. I don't know what the odds were to start, like 20 to 1 or 25 or whatever it was, for him to get a touchdown. And everyone just were piling onto it that the odds would go down like 16, 12, 8 to 1. So I don't know how low it went to. And sure enough, he got what they call a garbage touchdown at the very end. Now, a garbage touchdown is when the score is out of hand and somebody gets a touchdown that really doesn't change any meaningless outcome of the game on either side of the fence scoring. And then that meant that all those people that bet that proposition, well, they ended up winning. And in turn, Vegas lost big short term and won monstrous on the long term. Because the short term, they lost a lot that Super Bowl because of it. And a lot of people would have probably backed the Bears in that game. And the Bears won by, well, it was like 40 points or some sort of large number. They covered the spread many times over. And then after that got they started growing and growing. And that was the birth of the prop betting market. Now, when we get to Super Bowl, what a lot of people seem to do is just make bets that are within the realm of the risk and reward that they should be doing. So I'll give you another clue for myself. I will be betting more than one normally should within a real big risk, and I could probably bet more, meaning I realize that after this football game is over, that there will be no more football for a while. My bankroll is in fantastic shape, and if I happen to have a really bad day, I'll hope, you know what, that's something in which that I'm used to have happening to me, and I'll just live with it, basically. And always controlling my bankroll to do the best I can. I've been done, of course, very well within it. So I'm going to put some okay stakes on the line. And again, normally I would bet like 300 or so and change in a hockey game. I bet as high as 4 in the regular season. And I bet as high as several thousand in the Stanley Cup Finals. And during the semifinals, it was like 1,000 a game. And it was just fantastic, the results that I was getting. Hence why I was doing such larger numbers in the Stanley Cup Finals, because when I win, I increase my bets significantly, but in a strategic manner that I'm trying to figure of a term that's a word that people use that's putting like words together, ingenious, but that's something else to go with it. It's an ingenious strategy. Maybe that's what I was looking for, but within my risk and my reward. So just be safe with your bets and how you're doing it. If you're doing it for entertainment, remember entertainment costs. And if you're doing it because it's profit and you're looking for advantage gambling, if you can find your advantage, should it matter if it's a Super Bowl? Or if it's like the second worst and the seventh worst team and the fifth worst team playing a preseason game. Hey, maybe that preseason game might be more profitable. But that'll be it for this video. Again, what I'll do is I'll put out a video Friday night, and then at that stage, I'll probably do another one again. It'll be like on Sunday, but not till close to Super Bowl, announcing the two people who are legitimate to win, as well as what my lineups will be. But I don't want to put it out until, well, I mean, I got to wait till game time decisions and everything, probably on the Le'Veon Bell and all that type of stuff. And game time decisions an hour and a half before the game. So kickoff is usually after 6 on the Super Bowl. So I'm going to be looking at this around 4:30. So you'd be looking at a video at the 5 o'clock hour or within the hour of the Super Bowl. And then I'll do a video after the Super Bowl is over. Hoping, of course, that, there's going to be tens and tens and tens of thousands of people. There's 500,000 maximum entrants, so I don't know what the average person's going to have, but there's going to be at least 50, 60, 80, 90,000 unique different people playing this game. I be one of them. And unfortunately, not everyone can play this because if many United States people can't even play, it's unfortunate, but, it is unfortunately as it is. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.